Bonjour. In today's video, I'm going to teach you some basics of Urdu. On y va? The first word we're going to learn is welcome. Welcome in Urdu is khush amadid. Khush amadid. And the verb would be, there's two. One is khush amadid kehna, which means to say welcome. The other one is khair makhdam karna. That means to do the action of welcoming. There is a third one, which is istiqbal, but that is a noun and is used for more formal and more perhaps diplomatic occasions. The next word we're going to learn is hi. Hi in Urdu is salam. Hello in Urdu is adab. The formal hello form is adab arz hai. When you pick the phone up, you still say hello. Our next greeting is the most popular and common greeting, which is Assalamu alaikum. And the response to this is Wa alaikum assalam. Next is good morning. Good morning is Subh bakhair. A variation of this is also Subah bakhair. The next is good evening. Good evening in Urdu is Sham bakhair. And good night in Urdu is Shab bakhair. I would like to note that good afternoon isn't really used in Urdu, but the word for noon is doper, and the word for afternoon is sehper, but they aren't usually used as in good afternoon. Someone would just say that something is happening in doper or sehper. However, even though they are not commonly used, they are still good to know. So basically for noon, it would be doper bakhair, and for afternoon, it would be sehper bakhair. The early morning or around sunrise would be the pehla pehar, as this is in a time system. And so, however, the pehla pehar really isn't used very much in greetings or things like that. To express good day, you would say roz bakhair. However, this isn't usually used, but it's good to know. The next phrase we're going to learn is, how are you? So there are, of course, a formal and informal form, as you might have seen in other European languages like French and German. So first we will do the informal form. This form is only used for people that are the same age as you, and or like friends and like siblings, so it's basically the same age. So the male form is tum kaise ho, and the female form is tum kaisi ho. Then the formal form is aap kaise hain. The plural form of these would be tum log kaise ho or tum log kaisi ho, and aap log kaise hain. A more formal way of expressing how are you is kaise mizaj hai, or you could also say mizaj grami. The response to how are you is I am fine, which would be main theek hu, or I am quite alright would be main bilkul theek hu. A formal way to express that you are well would be main khairiyat se hu. I mean, this is somewhat formal, but it's also used a lot in general conversation as well. But I think you could use either and it would work okay. To express how was your day, informally you can say तुम्हारा रोज कैसा गुजरा or तुम्हारा रोज कैसा रहा. For formal, it would be आपका रोज कैसा गुजरा. Guzarna is to pass, and raha would be how was it, is used in that sense. I would say guzarna is perhaps a more formal verb than raha. We will cover verbs and all that in a future video, but for now you should know that guzarna is the infinitive for to pass, and rehna is the infinitive for it could mean either to stay or something that has happened, or like sometimes it's used in the past tense of to be. So it's a lot of the verbs have multiple meanings, like in English and other languages. To express long time no see, you can say बहुत दिनों से मुलाकात नहीं हुई, or perhaps in a more formal manner, तवील अरसे के बाद मुलाकात हुई. Another way to express long time no see is काफी वक्त से आपसे मुलाकात नहीं हुई. Next, we are going to learn what is your name. Informally, this is तुम्हारा नाम क्या है, and formally this is आपका नाम क्या है. The response for that would be मेरा नाम Azan hai. My name is Azan. Or you could also use the formal I, which is Hamara naam Azan hai. To ask where are you from, you say Aap kahan se hai. And the response to that would be Main blank se hu. So Main America se hu, or Main Pakistan se hu. Or in the formal I or we a pronoun, you would say hum America se hai or hum Pakistan se hai, or whichever country. Some of the names of the countries in Urdu: America is America, the United Kingdom is Britannia, France is France, Germany is either Germany or Alemania, and so India is either India, Bharat, or Hindustan, one of those. And I think most of the other countries have similar names. Like most of the countries that have a very different name in Arabic, that also applies to Urdu. For example, Egypt would be Misr in Urdu, and Jordan is Urdun, and there's like lots of other examples of this. A more formal way to express where you are from is you can say आपका ताल्लुक कहाँ से है, and you would respond मेरा ताल्लुक अमेरिका से है. Taalluk means like collection, a connection, or relation. The next word is shukriya, which is thank you. Shukriya is the most common word for thank you. However, there are others as well, such as meharbani, karam, and nawazish. However, I would say shukriya is the most common, along with badi meharbani, which means big kindness. The response to this, as in you're welcome, there are several. The most common one is koi baat nahi, which literally means it's no talk, or koi masla nahi, which means no problem. You could also say mujhe khushi hui, which means it brought me happiness, or meri khushkismati thi, which means it was good luck for me. Meri khushkismati thi. The more formal way of expressing your welcome is nawazish or aapki anayat. Either one is fine. You could use them together. You could also say nawazish karam. Yes and no in Urdu are the informal way of saying yes is ha, and the formal is ji, and the standard way is ji ha. So basically, in dictionaries, you'll see ji ha. But in normal conversation, for formal, you say ji. And for informal, you say ha. But some people just use ji all the time. So then for no in Urdu, that is nahi. That is for formal and informal, but usually it depends on context if it's being used in a formal or informal way, such as like your tone and stuff. But the standard way, as in what it would be in a dictionary, is ji nahi. To express that or to ask, do you know English, you say aapko angrezi aati hai? And the response would be either जी मुझे आती है or नहीं मुझे नहीं आती है. And for sorry, you would use, there's multiple. There's माफ कीजिए, and the formal way would be माफ कीजिएगा. That is literally forgive me. There is माजरत, and the formal form is माजरत खा, as in मैं माजरत खा हूँ. That means I want forgiveness. Or there's uzr kha, मैं uzr kha हूँ. It's the same thing. To express like you are sincerely, like say apologetic, you would say sidq edil, so that means sincerely. Or ta edil, that means like from the, it would literally mean from like the fold of my heart, or like from the bottom of my heart, or like the corner of my heart. And so in those situations, you can use that for, again, when you're very sorry about something, or like in both senses, in grief, in sorrow, in like as an excuse. In all of those situations it can be used. In a different sense, when you're sorry, as in someone is grieving, or that is a different story. That would be afsos. And if you are sorry, you would say मैं afsos ज़दा हूँ. मैं afsos ज़दा हूँ. I'm sorry for you. In that sense, like sorrow or grief. Another way to express that you are feeling sorry for someone would be मैं रंजीदा हूँ or मैं अफसरदा हूँ. If you want to express that you are really very sorry, you could say मैं पशेमान हूँ. This is a more formal way, but is when you are extremely, like, very sorry, like after a huge mistake or disaster or something. To express have a nice day, you would say मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपका रोज अच्छा or बेहतरीन गुजरे, which means I hope you have either a good day or an excellent day. Acha is good and excellent is बेहतरीन. Sort of have fun is like मजे कीजिए, and then like have a nice meal or bon appetit. You could also say मजे कीजिए, or you could also say मजे करिए, which is another form of the verb karna. You could possibly, in a more formal situation, you can say Nosh Jan. However, this is quite a formal word. It is from Farsi, and to do the action would be Nosh Jan Farmana. Like that would be like eating or drinking, but that is quite formal. Bon voyage or have a good journey would be मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपका सफ़र अच्छा और बेहतरीन गुजरे or rahe, which, so acha is good, as I said. Behtrin is excellent. Guzre is pass, and rahe is be or shall be. I don't know is mujhe nahi maloom hai. To say I don't understand, you could say mujhe nahi samajh mein aaya. That literally means it did not come to my understanding. Or you could also say main samjha nahi or main samjhi nahi, which was the direct translation of I don't understand, but I would say the other form mujhe nahi samajh mein aaya is perhaps flows better and is used more commonly. To say like slow down politely would be क्या आप अपनी रफ्तार आहिस्ता कर सकते हैं? Or you could also say क्या आप इसे आहिस्ता बोल सकते हैं? That means can you say this more slowly? To say to repeat something, you could say क्या आप इसको दोबारा कह सकते हैं? That means can you say this again? Or you can also say क्या आप इसको दोहरा सकते हैं? That means can you repeat this? To say please in Urdu, that is barahe meherbani. This is the standard form. A perhaps slightly more formal form of this is barahe karam, and then a more formal form of that is azrahe karam. And then there's another form, however, this is not really used that much. That is azrahe nawazish. I personally use azrahe karam, but I would say the most standard is brahe meherbani or brahe karam, but you can use any of these. Now, in emergency situations, help is, you could say madat, but it would probably be better if you said madat kijiye, because madat by itself is a noun and madat kijiye is a verb. And then fire is ag, or the formal way of saying that is atish, but if a fire happens, I think you can say ag. And to say stop, you could say informally ruko, or to either plural or formal, you say rukiye. Happy birthday is Salgira Mubarak or Salgira Mubarak ho, either of those. But to express nice to meet you, you can say aapse milkar khushi hui, which means I feel or I am happy to meet you, or I feel happiness to meet you. To express this more formally, you can say aapse milna ek saadat hai, or aapse mulaqat hona ek saadat hai. Mulaqat is meeting and milna is to meet. And so saadat is like kind of like a blessing or beautification, something of that nature. So this is a formal way of saying nice to meet you, or enchanté. To say tasty in Urdu, you can say mazadar. So, or you can say bahut mazedar. That means very tasty. And something that is good tasting, you could say khush maze, or something that is bad tasting is bad maza. Khush maza, bad maza, and mazedar. And then if you want to, it's the same system for smell. So khushbu means an aroma, and badbu means like an odor. So, and then to express beautiful, that is khubsurat, and to express ugly, you can say badsurat. So these are the things used for like the good and bad versions of each sort of idea or concept. Expressing excellence would be like, to say excellent, you could say zabardast. And finally, we're going to express how to say farewell. So goodbye is khuda hafiz, but when people speak quickly in general speech, it becomes khuda hafiz. A variation of this is Allah hafiz, but it's about the same thing. Khuda hafiz is like the standard form. Allah hafiz is a variation. Then to say farewell, it is al-vida or khairbad. One of those means farewell. And I'll see you again is phir milenge or dobara milenge. And yeah, and or tomorrow is kal milenge. So today we covered so many things. I kind of wanted to spread this out, but then it just kind of started compiling together and it just became one video. But I hope you guys all liked this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned because this is going to be a series. मैं उम्मीद रखता हूँ कि आप सब खैरियत से हैं. I hope you're all well, and I'll see you next time. फिर मिलेंगे. खुदा हाफिज and au revoir.